Kevin, thank you very, very much. And joining us now in studio is Deacon Jimmy and Father Kiely, who I've known for a few years. And from Pope St. John the 23rd Seminary. So we're thrilled to have you. And I'm going to start with you, Father. Tell us a little bit what's going on over at Pope St. John the 23rd Seminary.
Jay, it's one of the best assignments I've ever had, Bishop. You can imagine what this is like. I am with about 60 guys from all over the country, and like Jimmy, who are studying to be priests. And what's really terrific for me, you get to talk about the person you love the most with the people who are on fire with the same kind of love. You get to talk about Christ. And these men are being prepared to go out and to serve the Lord. I'm just excited, I'm thrilled to be able to do this and to have that privilege to be with them and journey with them as they prepare for priesthood. And some of them have come from huge different backgrounds. So, for instance, we have a judge, we have a couple of guys who are doctors, we have Jimmy here, who is a teacher. We have all sorts of people that have come from different backgrounds at a different, normally you would have younger men for priesthood. But Father Peter Conley said to us one day, he said, remember how Jesus called the apostles? They were second career men. They were already established in their career. Then they went on, and this is what this is about. So it's kind of a neat thing. So
interesting thing. And Jimmy, you're studying for the Diocese of Oakland, and you are a permanent deacon. Yes, now preparing to be ordained a priest. I think that's fantastic.
Isn't it?
I hope a lot of guys hear that out there, because we want to keep filling the rooms at Pope St. John the 23rd Seminary.
We want to expand.
No, really, because we need great priests. Can I ask you, because every seminary has its own kind of character and culture, if you will. What's a day like at Pope St. John the 23rd Seminary?
At Pope St. John Seminary, it's always exciting, every day. We start with a prayer, then, we go for, breakfast, we go for our classes, and then in the afternoon we have classes too. Obviously we have lunch, and then we end the day with a prayer. And we really have a very strong community, bonding also in our seminary. And things that we do there is always exciting, yeah. And in different ways, yeah. Not only academics, but we help each other, we build community. We have sports, actually, Actually, at this time, we're playing bocce.
Bocce?
Yeah, we started the competition.
He's one of the champions.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he started it. That's why he started the competition.
We have Italians, but they're not good at it.
But I got to say, from visiting a number of times, thank you very much for your invitation. I got to say, one of the unique characteristics of Pope St. John the 23rd Seminary is the fact that, as Father Kiely said, guys have come from so many different walks of life and bring so much experience. You must be learning from one another and supporting one another on this journey to the priesthood in a huge way.
Yeah, in our seminary, because we come from, different backgrounds, the support and the care and the, the mentoring, we help each other. Yeah. Competition is not a word in our seminary, because we're here, we don't prove ourselves. We know that this is God's call for all of us. So we're here to walk together, to pray together, to minister to each other, and of course to the community where we are assigned. So that's why our seminary is really unique, and we have a very strong bonding with each other.
Well, I hope there's no competition, because you're from Oakland and you're in Patriots country. Just so we could point that out.
Yeah, my second team is Boston.
Oh,
it better be, or you won't be ordained.
Yeah, that's right.
We talk about
I think it's a prerequisite.
I think we talk about a typical day for a seminarian. What about for a rector? Do you have a typical day?
No, I don't.
There's no typical day.
Typical day. I'm telling you, Jimmy, I am living the dream, because it is the best assignment I have ever had, bar none, okay? And I have loved the priesthood and loved everything I've done. But this one, I'm with great guys. I'm with wonderful people. We're preparing to make a gift to the church, which is terrific. And so I really believe I'm privileged to have this responsibility and this opportunity to be with these guys. And I was saying earlier, last week we were on vacation. Well, I missed tremendously praying with these men. And when they came back, there was this palpable joy in my own prayer because they were part of it. And so I think one of the great things about the seminary, I would never have pictured myself as a rector because I'm a pastor. But I suppose in some ways that's exactly what I am in that house. I'm the pastor of the house. I'm supported by wonderful staff, wonderful priests. So I have, other than trying to get more guys to come to the seminary, I live a pretty good life.
I think Monsignor Jim Maroney would agree with you. I've heard him say the same thing, that he feels very much like the pastor of his house. We have 3 seminaries here in the Archdiocese: St. John's Seminary, Redemptoris Mater Seminary, and of course Pope St. John the 23rd Seminary. And in about 4 weeks or so, on Pentecost Sunday, there's a very important collection for the seminaries. How does that money, those funds that people generously give, support your important work?
It's an interesting question. The way in which I interpret it is that the people's contributions allow us to support the priests, the seminarians from Boston particularly, and also to fund some other activities that we might be involved in. Say, for instance, the Spanish language program, because a lot of our men are going to be ordained for service throughout the church, and one of the biggest growing communities is the Hispanic community in the Catholic community, church. So our men need to be prepared to be able to speak, at least to be able to pray in Spanish. Okay, I'm not expecting men to give a huge homily or an in-depth presentation in Spanish. I'm just asking that they be able to pray in Spanish, and that's one of the things that the collection affords. Also, just to support some of the activity that we do, just the regular living expenses, because a lot of men come and they haven't got any extra money. All they've severed their ties, they've left their jobs, they've done everything the Lord asks, and then simple things like going out and getting toiletries. Where's that money going to come from? And some dioceses don't have that kind of money to support the seminarians. So that collection allows us to use it in discretionary ways to assist the men in whatever way, whatever needs they might have.
Well, thank you, both of you.
Thank you guys for having us.
Father, for being on today. And if you want to learn more about the Pope St. John community, go to psjs.edu, psjs.edu. And I'd like to